Oh, knock it off. I am getting out of the house. Getting Suki out of the house. Between the two of us, we're getting out of the house. The boys, Rupert and Lucky, are in their kennel up in the loft. This is not the kind of event they would enjoy participating in, and that's my opinion. And since I'm Lord of the Bog, I get to leave them home, safe and sound. They've been finding and picking up little chunks of firewood, chewing on them, then dropping them and leaving them, and then I find them with my bare feet when I'm trying to get ready for bed. Just a whole nother dimension of chaos in the house. Well, Otter Pond isn't gone. Still frozen and snow-covered. I'm not gonna stay down here. I want to go up to the bow of the ship, just for some place to go. There she comes. Good girl. I'm still locked in this conundrum of a time warp, recording today's events, if you can call this an event, on December 27th, while I'm working on episode 54 or 55, where I introduce a new cab view, driver's view, helmet view, any other kind of view I can imagine. And that's really not worth talking about, because by the time you see this episode, which will be, 65, 68 at the rate I'm going in 2 months. Yeah, I'm exactly 2 months behind now. Well, I'm going to quit worrying about her. The day it snowed lightly, I had the Ranger parked up there, and all that work has come to a halt. Oh, there's my nippers. I knew I'd left them out here and then forgot that I had left them out here. Good. Now I'll set them down, intending to pick them up on my way back. And then I won't. Well, let's walk the new trail. To elaborate a little bit on this new project, I began it with cab view, trams, driver's view, trains. And if you don't know, trams are low-speed trains, effectively, that travel through urban areas from, stop to stop. They make frequent stops. Trains, as you probably know, go between towns, cities, at much higher speeds. Stopping at every little town along the way, it seems like. Tram rides, cab views, are much more interesting in my book. The train rides, you're going along, looking out the front window of the locomotive. I don't think they even call them locomotives anymore. Whatever they're called, the engine, you're looking out the front window, going along at, well, it's always kilometers per hour. Sometimes you're up to 140 kilometers per hour, which translates to about, 80 miles an hour? Somewhere in that ballpark. And it's boring. I hate to say that because I'd like you to watch them. Because there are some train rides, like the ones from Railroad Cowgirl, who, by the way, 2 years ago or more when I discovered her videos, was Hindu Cowgirl. For some reason, she changed her name, her channel name, to Railroad or Rail Cowgirl. You'd think there was a little bit of political pressure there from the Norway head of public relations. Jeez. I don't take any offense at the term Hindu Cowgirl, for heaven's sakes. What's offensive about that? But they got to be careful. Don't want to offend. And of course, somebody will take the opportunity to be offended. That's a religionist. It's offensive. So let's get the railroad people out there to get up in arms about her name, Rail Cowgirl. That's railroadist. I wonder what lay down there. It's got this morning's fresh snow over it. Now, don't forget where you put those. I'll get home and know exactly where I put them. Getting back to the videos of Rail Cowgirl. It was her driver's view videos that absolutely compelled me. I couldn't look away. They're so beautifully filmed. I mean, how do you ruin that when you're going up a mountain in the snow or in the fall, and you're seeing these fantastic views out the window of sheer cliffs and curves and the rushing rivers and rapids, and she's not going fast at all. And that's how I got started. And I didn't see very many other cab or driver's view imitators until about a year ago. And then it seems like every railroad and every tram company in the world was jumping on that bandwagon. Why not? I mean, it's good public relations, I guess. Visibility. Well, for the Norwegian Rail Cowgirl, it's a huge customer relations coup, because when people see those videos going through the mountains of Norway, they want to ride the rail. And the one line from Flam to Myrdal, which is at the top of the mountain, you get up to Myrdal and it's just open. There's no trees whatsoever. It's just a vast open landscape. And then they get on the other side to Bergen. Some of the other rail lines are fun to watch. There's one French, I don't remember the names of the towns. They go through a fairly flat landscape, fast. I watched one from Finland. Beautiful, sunshiny winter day. But this thing stopped literally about every mile. But I did recognize on that line, on this beautiful railroad grade and beautifully well maintained, it looked exactly like the rural parts of northern Minnesota. And I got to wondering why in the hell we in the U.S. have abandoned or vacated our railroad rights of way and given them over to ATVers. And I began to think back in the late 70s when this all began to happen. The railroads were tearing up the rails, abandoning their lines. We're going to be sorry for doing this. Why can't we have rail here? And the argument is that, well, our cities and towns are too far apart, not compared to the line I was watching from Finland. We have got to change direction, get on board with electric trains, build lines, employ people, build a rail system just like Europe has, England has. We don't have a choice on getting away from fossil fuels. We don't. Getting back to my new project, I've found urban biking. And the beauty of all of these is that GoPro cameras have revolutionized the filmability. These guys wear helmets and they stick a GoPro on the helmet and away they go. Some of the most frightening and exciting ones are urban bicycling down from a higher height in a hilly town. And these guys, well, they build a course through very narrow passageways, down concrete steps, around and through, going very fast. And it's just a marvel to watch these guys. And they never wipe out because you wouldn't see those. They wouldn't publish those. They only publish the ones that are successful. Another one is kayaking down a concrete sluiceway, drainage ditch. Oh, Jesus. And that's an unsanctioned event. Two guys just walk up to the top and jump in and off they go. Some of the others are kayaking in whitewater, going over waterfalls. One I found is a jet ski in the canyons of Colorado River. I mean, these are narrow, like 4 feet wide. She has been staring so intently out this window. Like there has to be something very interesting out there. Like a baby bear, maybe? I got all set up. I did the video that you saw as it wandered out of sight, and then I went and got the long lens on the camera and tripod and set up in the bedroom where I had a window a little bit more looking into the area that it walked into. No. Well, I feel so lucky to have seen that. But I would have thought by now all bears would have been in hibernation. That guy was little enough where he had to have been a yearling or born this year. Whenever bears are born, I don't know when they're born, I'm guessing April, May. He was maybe only 2 feet tall from the ground up to the top of his shoulders. And is he all alone now? That doesn't seem right. Seems a little young for I don't know anything about bears. I'm guessing all along here, but it seems to me he would still be with his mother if she was around. We do have a bear hunting season here. Anyway, the boys go back tomorrow. This one here, Rupert, for the last 2 nights, 5 o'clock, half an hour before supper, he puked. First time he puked on the corner of that pad. And last night I heard him out here. Oh, knock it off.
18 degrees. 18 degrees. 18 degrees.
So I dragged him into the kitchen where the tiles are, and he released his water. There was nothing in there. So was that from hunger? But I've had my fill. It'll be 10 days tomorrow, and that's about all I can take, especially in the winter when they need to go outside, change the shoes, bundle up, all in the entryway, which is right now crowded by recycling and garbage that has to be taken into the transfer center in town. And Suki wants to crowd in here too. I get them hooked up to the leash and out we go, them dragging me 15 miles an hour down the driveway. I've done my stint. I'm ready to have my peace and quiet space back again. And I really love it when, well, this is Lucky. He's got the red collar. Rupert's a blue collar. Otherwise, they're hard to tell apart, especially when we're walking down a dark driveway at night. I'm trying to monitor who's peeing and who's pooping. And Rupert only likes to poop about every 3rd day. Anyway, in the house, when I'm up in the loft at the desk, and I can hear their little feet walking all around me. I look down and then they're staring up at me, and have been for the last 15 minutes. Jesus. You know, it's really not difficult to get fed up this time of year. Buildup of temper happens more quickly and more energetically. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. See you next time.